In this video, I want to show you some really terrible machine work. On the right is a compressor housing that I had to machine out, that the customer had to send me another one to fix the one on the left that the previous machinist had done. I'm not really sure why he cut that much out, and then it looks like he re-welded on it, but it's not right at all. It's really important that you send your housings to somebody that has experience with turbo machining, or at least has somewhat common sense. It's not that complicated to machine these covers, but it does take some skill and some knowledge. The tolerances required for these types of machine jobs are not millimeters, but fractions of millimeters. The clearance between the wheel and the housing should be, well, what I machine them to is 0.6 millimeter larger than the wheel. But according to other specs that I've read, that people try and machine them for 0.70 to 0.8, but I machine mine to 0.6 because I end up sanding and polishing the covers. I started machining back in 2011 when I went to college. On the weekends, I would machine these housings and do turbo builds for people. A few years later, I decided to drop out of college because I was just so tired of going to school to try and get a degree for something that I wanted to do with machining, but finding myself doing a bunch of book work that I didn't want to do, and then come to find out that I never really got to touch some machines for 4 years. So I went out and bought my own machines with my own money and decided to do the work that I really wanted to do by myself. I never had customers ask me to see a degree for machining. It really doesn't matter what degree you have. The only thing that really matters is the quality of the work that you do for other people. I always like to take on challenging jobs just like this one that required sleeving the compressor housing and then remachining. This is a 3-step machining process that requires the part to be on and off the machine 3 separate times, including machining an extra pipe to sleeve into the compressor housing. What I like most about doing these types of jobs is the customer's reaction when they get this turbo and they're so impressed with how good it looks. Here's a low quality machine job that the customer had someone else do also. I really don't know how they did this, but when I went back to try and remachine the housing, it was just so far off. Like it was like the housing was like warped or something. But I was able to restore the wheel clearance by increasing the size to a larger turbine wheel from a TD06 SL2 to a TD06, which is 1 millimeter larger. Though I didn't machine out the bore anymore, I just ended up machining the radius. When you decide who to do your machine work, you should strongly consider what type of machine that they're going to use and the type of experience that they have. Be extremely cautious when choosing somebody. Make sure that they've done turbos before, and make sure that they know what they're doing. Make sure that they have some experience in this type of work, because the margin for error is so small. Once it's machined too big, the part has to be thrown away. Chances are they won't even tell you that they machined it wrong, and they'll just charge you for the work. And then later down the road, like this situation that I had, the customer will send you the turbo in for rebuild, and then you'll have to redo all the work all over again, making the customer have double the amount of money in the turbo that they should have.